here on the dust. Preachers now shacking.
Yes,
all right.
That's right. You're right. That's right.
You know, I'm talking about shacking, man.
Yeah.
They go from deacon to elder to bishop. Shacking.
Yes, sir.
20 years laying up with some woman. They don't have enough respect to marry. And some fool laid hands on him and ordained him.
Yeah. You're right.
And we were. Oh, no. No respect for the old elders no more. Good teaching, good teaching. Remember there was a time,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
when you used to see the woman of God, man of God, come in the building, and folk was scattered.
Yeah.
For the Joel. Ain't no purpose for the Joel.
Yes, sir.
Now these folks will go in the store, get their 40 ounces, sit on the counter in front of the mother, jump in front of the line, cut, carry on, pull out guns and bust shots and everything.
Yes, sir.
Ain't got no fear.
I believe it.
No fear for the people of God no more. You know why? Because the people of God ain't got no fear for God. You say that?
Amen.
Right. It's good. They ain't got no fear. It's good church. We ain't got no fear. I know the preacher preached tonight, but listen, we got a lot of young folk in here. These young folk need to hear. How can they hear without a preacher? How can they preach unless he be sick? That's right. And let me tell you something, every one of us in the city, every one of us young at one time. Right? These young folk ain't here. You know why they hear it? Because they're watching what we do. They're watching what we do. They're watching the church. I had a young man tell me today. I said, King, man, I always invite you out to come to church. I ain't come to church. So he told me, he couldn't name nobody in the world. He said, my father, Pastor, he ain't nothing but a crook. Oh, my Lord. Amen. I said, God, you don't even know me. But you do know me. You work with me. You stand like that. But in his mind, my father passed. All of y'all crooks anyway. You got to read it. You got a time when you ask a young man or a young woman, what do you want to be when you get older? I want to be a fireman. I want to be a cop. No, I want to be this. Now you have to want to be, I want to be a preacher. So I start in a pretty car and live in a big house.
Yes, sir. Oh, hallelujah.
Get money with me.
That's right. That's right.
I'm going to tell you something. You want to see a real pastor or preacher, somebody that don't want to be. Because this ain't an easy walk.
I didn't want to be married.
We didn't call a few chosen. Some got up and went.
You better believe that's what happened. I don't want to.
Yes, sir. Some ain't been called. Some ain't been chosen.
Yes, sir.
We got churches opening up on every corner like liquor stores. You got to speak with the liquor store. Liquor store across one street, church across another street. And then you can't put the liquor store out of business. Liquor store got your people. Right at the church. They wait till the pastor pull off. And they go in and get in their EJ. It sickens me. I try to minister. I work a job. I try to minister. I hear the people coming all the time. I'm asking that. And but in the next breath, a few minutes before that, a woman came in today. She got one of the biggest drug houses in Macon. Standing there pulling out box out of her pocketbook. And then a brother walked in and said, "Hey, deacon." I'm sorry I'm in church this week. I told Pastor, you know, I got caught up with some things with my daughter. I said, Deacon, what church you go to? She told me. She said, yeah, because I'm the usher in the church. Oh, no. You're the biggest drug dealer in Macon. You got yeah, money. I closed it years ago, and really I knew we was going off the scale. When years ago, I'm in New York City. I'm a New York City boy. And a preacher shared with me that there was a preacher preached an awesome message on the radio. And actually touched him to tears. He said, but messed his whole mind up when he said, and I close with this. Y'all leave my packets alone. They keep the lights on in the church. I said, we go.
You're about one in the hill.
Something wrong.
You got to fit on query.
We losing our children because they don't see elders no more. Old mother.
You saying
everybody, if they don't look at the pastor as a pimp, he carries himself. Everybody's a hustler, got an idea, got a game plan. Let me show you how to get this, how to get there, how to flip that. In the church. They got the church. I tell my wife this one time. The church, I seen it on the internet and it messed me up too. I said the church is a $1 billion a year business. God never intended for this to be a You got people who are drug dealers. You got rappers, movie stars, men who have prostitute bars. Invest in the church. You know, you can go online and invest in Jake's ministry, his ministry, invest. You can be one of the biggest drug dealers and take your money and flip it and invest it in the church. The church is a investment. Multi-billion-dollar a year business. Business. I told the guy today, I said, listen, you sell CDs, right? He said, yeah. I said, that's your business, right? I said, but you don't have a business, you have to have a product. I said, so when they say the church is a multi-billion-dollar a year business, who's the product? You're basically saying the leaders are picking the people. We're the product. We're like a bootleg DVD. It's sad. It is sad. It is a crying shame. And I tell people every day, we don't fear no God in His Christ. Because we be trembling in our boots that you know when not when He comes. He comes a moment in a twinkling of an eye. The church has been preaching the rapture for years. But I'll tell you what God dropped up in my spirit. The rapture is every night you go to sleep.
That's right.
Because God can come and wrap your soul up.